Hey everyone, happy April, happy spring. Hope you're doing well. For our April newsletter, I got a whole list of things to get through today, so I'm going to dive right in. I got a bunch of exciting updates to talk about, and also just some new features and things that I want us all to be aware of for the different tools that we use on a daily basis. So, first off, a big important thing that we're going to be working on as a technology department. For the longest time, I think you guys know we use Microsoft product for our email services. We use a lot of Google products as well. And so as I talk about the different things this month, this is kind of the biggest one I want us all to be aware of is we are going to be actually transitioning to Google email. Finally, yay, celebration of fireworks, I'm sure, for some of us here. What does this mean? Instead of having this two separate systems that we've had to manage over the last few years, we're gonna begin the process of migrating our email services to Google to use Gmail. And some of the benefits that we'll have, it'll be one calendar. So I know, like, especially as we work with Google Meets and we try to do appointments with peers, we all have been having to juggle two calendars. So if anything, well, that by itself will be a big thing for us for sure. Because we'll be integrated with Google, we'll have the contact features in Classroom where they have that idea of emailing parents or emailing students right within there. We'll be able to use that functionality as well as all the other integration that you have within Google. The power of Gmail, a lot of us have used Gmail personally for different accounts. So we'll definitely have that be a part of it as well with all the organization and searchability and just the features of that. And also just the other idea of just the students have been using Gmail for a while. That's been their district provided email solution. And so having the same experience as students, so we are all working in the same environment is going to be pretty awesome. And a lot more, of course, as things come up. And so this is just an announcement right now that the process is underway. We're going to be working through it. So a couple things I'd ask of you. One, tell all your friends that an email transition is coming. So what that means is down the line, we're going to make this happen. We'll continue to provide information and updates as we have more to discuss. The transition, as you may expect, won't happen until after the school year ends. So we're not going to throw a loop for things with what's happening now. Don't worry about that. But let's just start talking about this transition among your peer groups, just so we know it's coming. And again, we'll provide a lot of information as we come about. And the other thing to keep in mind is that it is a migration, and for what that means for us is that any of our emails that are stored on the server now are going to be copied and translated over. And so all of the work that a lot of us have done over the years to keep a hold of our emails and our inboxes and organizing our mail folders, all that stuff will come as well. So again, a lot more information will come as we have more, but just right now it's just an announcement officially that this is going to happen. All right, next, Screencastify. Actually, I'm using this tool right now to do this screen recording. It might be a familiar name for you as a Chrome extension. We worked deal with the company that we actually have their full suite of tools through summer school this year. And honestly, hopefully it's not a little too late, but a better late than never kind of thing. I'm hoping. But they're an online screen recording tool. It allows you to record both your screen and your webcam at the same time. Previously, their free limit, if you just tried to use it on their own, would limit you to 5-minute videos. But this full version allows us to record unlimited length, and it has a lot of interaction features. Not only that you can have a built-in editor, so after you're done with your recording, you can go in and make some tweaks to things. But it also has a concept of submitting files to students or having students submit videos through Google Classroom. They have some great online self-paced training on there. I'll show you a link for that in a moment. And like I said, it's free through summer school. So definitely take advantage of it right now. I'll show you a little peek on how to get it going. But the really nice thing about this is it's entirely done in the web. So you don't need any special software. It might provide your first ability to actually have an online editing tool. So instead of just simply recording in Google Meets, we can actually take a video and chop it up and add some text and do different things from there. So I'll just show you real quick what that looks like. So all of us as a staff member have this extension automatically installed, and you just need to basically turn it on and activate it. Our extensions are up in the corner bar here, and if you don't have immediate visibility of one of the extensions you're hoping for, you click this little puzzle piece, and as we scroll down, you'll see Screencastify as a choice. If you want, you can even hit this little pin button and it'll lock it right in place there. But you basically just click on that, follow the couple little sign-on prompts just to get it connected right away. But it's a really interesting piece of software that, hey, if it's free, let's use it. Let's see how it can work with us. They also give you some screen annotating tools as well. So while you're in the middle of this recording session, you can draw and you can annotate right on the screen, and that would all be captured as part of your video as well. So it's certainly some interesting stuff, and definitely play around with it. They also have a website dedicated just for educators as well. So at screencastify.com/education/resources, you can just type in Screencastify Education. You'll land on this page. They have a beginner's guide that just takes you really straightforwardly through the basics of it. And they even have an overall course if you like to get a certification at the end. It takes about an hour, and it's pretty well done in terms of showing you all the editing tools and ways to use it in your classroom. All right, so next update, Jamboard. This has been a tool that I think a lot of us have had a love-hate relationship for. We were excited when it came out as an option for Google, especially with this remote and hybrid learning that we're doing. But then we hated it and we're very frustrated because students couldn't use it. We had some security issues because it didn't allow for revision history for the longest time. But in the last week or so, Google has expanded that to actually turn on revision history and make that a live option here. So as such, Jamboard is now on for our district. So students can use it. You can use it fully. It's on for everybody. It's a digital whiteboarding tool, and I'll show you real quick a quick demo. But what's great is it integrates right in your drive. So just like you would work with slides or docs or sheets, you can create files. You can collaborate with other people, and it has that revision history right in there. So I think it, again, maybe too little, too late for some of us, but we have a good couple months here that I think you'll definitely take advantage of, and I definitely foresee it as a tool to be used going forward in the classroom, even in a non-pandemic scenario. And so very simply, the way it works is you just go into your drive anywhere. You can go right to new, and then under more, you have the option to go into Google as a Google Jamboard. And of course, if Corey was here, he'd tell you to do what? Give it a name, right? So the first thing you do anytime you get in, you always name your file. And then it's a what you see is what you get, a nice blank white screen that you can pick from some annotation tools. If you hold on it, you'll get your choice of colors. And then you just start simply annotating with your mouse from there. And especially for a lot of you have those digital whiteboards or interactive TVs in your classrooms, it would be a great opportunity to use the pen as well. And then from the triple dots, what we've been waiting for is this version history. Not that we don't trust students or our peers when it comes to collaboration, but we also have this standard availability that we're used to seeing in our other Google apps. So definitely take advantage of Jamboards now. Enjoy using it. They have a really nice integration within Meets, and I see a lot of possibilities to push an assignment out in Classroom that potentially uses Jamboard for students to interact with as well. Okay, and the last thing I wanted to chat about today is a couple of Google search updates that they've added for us, both in Drive and in Chrome as well. So we're living in this Google world. Files come in and out all the time, and it can get a little tricky sometimes to find the stuff that we care about, right? We can navigate in my drive. We can go to our shared drives. We can try to find stuff with shared with me. It's great. We have a search at the top, which can be great as well. But I think, as we all know, sometimes it's just not enough. We still can't find what we're looking for, right? And so Google has some search tools built into this drive at the top. And I just want to highlight a couple things that have been there a little while, but also want to talk about a couple new things that they added to this search in Drive feature. So the first thing that's been in here a while is this concept of an advanced search. And so if you just click in this search and drive option, you have some quick suggestions for people you've interacted with or types of files. But if you click on the words advanced search, and you can also click on the little arrow on the right if it's easier, it takes you into a little pop-up window that lets you get pretty granular with some of this stuff here. So for example, if I'm looking specifically for Google Forms that I've created, I can target that as my search. And so I can pick that as the type, hit search, and then it searches anywhere and everywhere for all the different Google Forms that I had a part of here. It puts in this little code and makes it work nicely for you. And then I can continue. Like if I go into here, I can say, oh, it's owned by me, or it's owned by a specific person. So I know somebody specifically, collaborated with. I can find it that way. And then there's a lot of date-based filters here. So really powerful stuff that lets you kind of dive a little bit deeper to find your items. And that has all been there for a while. This is kind of not a new thing, but it might be new if you haven't noticed to click that little arrow or go to an advanced search because it sounded too scary or something. But here's what's new is similar to when we're searching emails, how we can search where if an email is coming to somebody or from somebody, we can actually do that same thing now in Drive. And it takes a little bit of coding, but it's just remember it's kind of like email. So if I'm looking for something that was shared specifically to Corey, for example, if I just type in the word to and add a colon, it starts suggesting some names of people, or I can start typing in an email address. And what this does is it looks at things that I've specifically shared to Corey recently. And so if you know, hey, I don't know where I put it, I know I gave it to somebody, you can just put that criteria right in the top and it'll give you a nice quick list of that. Same is true by using the from character. So if I say from, I can colon and then an email address, it would show me anything that I had gotten specifically from somebody. And it helps if I actually type in the full email address, of course. And so it looks like recently I haven't gotten anything from Mr. Cooper. Got to get on him to start sharing some more files with me, right? But I think the idea of this is readily apparent. And the one extra thing here that they added as well is this idea of shared with. So we can look at something that was sent to somebody specifically, something that was from somebody specifically, but we can also look at something that was shared with specifically as well. So a great example would be is if it's something that's shared with me, it would just simply give me a list of all that stuff. So regardless of who gave it to me at some point, I can use that little shared with category, put my email address in, and I know it's somewhere in here rather than me having to go to that shared with me section and try to scroll through that endless stream of stuff that's there. So some powerful tools that they have built in just within the Google Drive search. And then related to that, just searching things that just pile up in Google sometimes. Some of you may have started to see this icon show up in the very top right of Chrome. There's this little down triangle that you're going to see as you're browsing around. Because I don't know about you, but we're definitely getting this mode now where we have so many tabs that are open, and sometimes it gets a little ridiculous. And it gets hard to find things because the names shrink and the icons are hard to read, and it's just difficult to navigate around sometimes. And so what this little down triangle is, it's a built-in search just for your tabs that you have open. And so as I click on that, it just pops open a little window and say I need to get to my task list, I can just start typing it in and it'll let me jump to that tab right away. Don't have to remember which one it is. I don't have to accidentally hit the X and close it, because I know we do that all the time, right? Or I can just get right into the tab that I have open and it'll pop me right to that spot again. Pretty great. The best thing about it too is it actually will search the tabs in all of the open windows you have. So even if you have two different windows with a bunch of different tabs, maybe one was all your Meet resources and one was all your personal stuff you're keeping an eye on, it searches all of the tabs you have open regardless of the window and lets you really easily jump around and get to those different spots. So definitely take advantage of that and look for that little icon to be present for you going forward. Okay, that was it for this week or this month rather, and pretty big list of things, some exciting stuff coming down the pike. Again, we'll provide more information as we have more available to you. Definitely put in support tickets if you have questions. Book a training session if you want to learn more, and we'll look forward to seeing what we all can do with the new production tools with Jamboard and with Screencastify. All right, until next time, see ya.